Hello, dear Letter for Life. You're bringing us a brand new manga review, and today we are talking about a personal favorite of mine, The Girl from the Other Side. Full title is Cielo Ruin, The Girl from the Other Side. Apparently that is like Iris or something, the first part at least, and is the name of some poem from forever ago. I don't know too much about it, but this series as a whole, though, oh my god, I love it. This series I discovered shortly after getting into Ancient Magus Bride, as the two get compared a lot in discussions about them, and for good reason, in all honesty. At least initial premises and everything. For one thing, they're both from the same publisher in Japan, and also they both have a similar initial premise in that it follows a monstrous teacher with horns and an ambiguous origin, teaching or in this case, raising a girl who, for some reason, has like special powers for some reason everybody wants. So in this regard, though, that's basically where the similarities end. There's also the fact that they both take place in like England, basically. So there are a lot of similarities, at least in the initial premise. But however, once you get past that initial premise of the characters and the location, everything kind of just differs big time. For one thing, Ancient Magus Bride is a story about, self-discovery and, realizing your purpose in the world and all that fun stuff. And The Girl from the Other Side, I would say, is a much more tragic, drama story. Like, this is a sad story, but god, it is a good read. I currently have 7 volumes. I believe there's 8 at the moment released. We were lucky to get 2 a year. Sometimes we get 3. Sometimes we've only had 1 released from what I recall, and it's a slow release, but however, for the art quality it is and everything, and I think it comes out in a niche like monthly thing over in Japan. It's a good read. It's a short read too for each manga. Like, you can breeze through these manga volumes in about 20 minutes to half an hour. But however, it is well worth your time. There was an OVA released about a year or 2 ago as well. I'm hoping this gets a full anime because, oh my god, it's great. So, what is Ciel Ruin, The Girl from the Other Side? This takes place in a world that is implied to be basically like medieval England. It's very similar, but with some very big differences. For one thing, in this world, there is a corrupting curse kind of thing, where if you get inflicted with the curse, you slowly turn into a pitch black creature, a outsider as they are called. And if you touch anybody who is not cursed, they will turn into it as well. There is no cure for the curse. If you become cursed, you are basically immortal. But however, you are a horribly disfigured monster, and you will slowly lose your memories and ability to think coherently. And then there is something else that will happen to you eventually, but I'm not going to go into that detail because it is a pretty big plot point. So basically, this curse rips away your humanity. You lose your human shape, and then you lose your human memories, and then you lose your humanity as time goes on. That being said, though, there's seemingly one exception. One of our main characters, Teacher. That's the only name he has, or teacher, mentor, something like that. He kind of goes, everybody kind of calls him a little bit of a different thing, but it's all the same. He doesn't have any memories of his past life other than very vague circumstances of it, but he's still able to retain onto his humanity. And one day, while exploring the outside, in other words, where the outsiders live, because basically the people who are not inflicted with the curse have all walled themselves up into a separate part of the country and won't let outsiders in. And if there's even a remote inkling of the curse spreading, that whole town is just burned to the ground and the wall is moved. It's a really like sad and tragic tale because it really does play into the paranoia of, just mass mob mentality of, oh my god, there's something going on. And it kind of is relevant for today with the virus running around too, because there's a lot of mob mentality and paranoia around it. But, that goes with any kind of global thing. So anyway, one day, before the series actually starts, teacher's walking around in the outside, and he finds an inside girl, who, for some reason, was just abandoned there. Not wanting to just leave her to die, he decides to take her in and raise her, basically, until her grandmother, who left a note there, will either come back to get her, or somebody else will come and get her, or whatever. Now, the big thing is that he's got to try and raise her and take care of her and protect her without ever touching her, because if he touches her, she will become cursed, and then she will turn into a monster, lose her humanity, etc., etc., which results in a really interesting dynamic. These two have already built a bond by the time of the beginning of the story, but we get to see them grow together in a really touching, almost father-daughter relationship they have. It's much more like a teacher and student well, I wouldn't even say that. She calls him teacher, and he teaches her about life and stuff like that. But however, he doesn't teach her about magic or anything like Ancient Maga's Bride. But however, I digress. So they have a really nice and touching father-daughter relationship that kind of builds throughout the series. Teacher is very, very protective of her, and considering some of the events that I can't get into due to spoiler reasons, a lot of the people on the inside want her dead as well. So he's got to protect her from the insiders, as well as also the other outsiders who have lost their humanity and want to actively spread the curse or take her for a particular other reason that I can't get into due to spoilers. Now, this all brings up just a really interesting dynamic, and it's a really, really good story overall. I would highly recommend this going into it blind as possible, because it does bring up a lot of interesting allegories and everything. For instance, this series makes full use of the fact that manga is in black and white, with the outsiders being pitch black and the insiders being a very bright white, and excellent detailing and shading on the pictures and everything. It makes for a beautiful story reading too. Initially going into it, I was very worried about Shiva, because she, of course, is a kid character, but she's a darn good one. She's not annoying. She's adorable. She's independent. She really wants to be able to find and wait for her grandmother, but at the same time also have be with teacher, because she's formed a really deep bond with him, and it makes for a adorable interactions with them, and also for some other allegories. Without going into spoilers or anything, there is it goes into a bit of a race allegory, with the outsiders being perceived as a different race or something in terms of how they treat it, and you can read it as that. But however, I think it's more applicable in the sense of how people treat people with debilitating diseases and stuff, because that's very much what the curse is in a sense. It robs you of your humanity, makes you a monstrous creature, and it spreads like a disease. Here's the page talking about the creation lore, about how the curse was created by an angry god and stuff. Now, is that really what happened? We haven't gone into full detail, but however, it's very, very interesting seeing how the world building is built up. Again, it's hinted at that it's England in a sense, like an alternate take on England, but however, it's clearly not set in our real world. I mean, there's very differing stuff going on, especially with how this curse almost seems to make whoever's inflicted of it immortal and stuff. Some of the cursed creatures, they lose their head. They're still able to walk around, and their head's a different all together, sentience and everything. The shadows, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't mention this. The shadows and texturing, again, on the pictures are just beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful mangas to look at, like, all in all. So, I don't have much else I can really talk about without spoiling it. But if you love atmospheric character dramas with the occasional like action scene and stuff, because typically speaking, it's a very mellow, light read with the occasional action scene. Typically about maybe one per volume, give or take, just to kind of spice things up. This is just a wonderful manga that I have to recommend. It's a very heartwarming, very tragic manga. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you smile, it'll make you feel happy, it'll make you hate the world, it'll make you hate some people, and make you love others. And it's so fascinating too. Again, the series is not done. There's 8 volumes to my knowledge. I don't know how many is in Japan. But however, I really can't wait to see how the series is going to wrap up. It can go in any different way. I don't even know if it's anywhere near ending. Like, it would be very interesting to see if it is or not. But however, I digress. This is one of my favorite mangas, and I implore you, if you really like reading mangas with a very good setting and world building, characters, beautiful art and everything, to go and read this. It is one of my personal favorites and one of the best out there. Check it out. Rate, comment, and subscribe. If you guys happen to like manga and everything, let me know. If you like this manga in particular, let me know. And hey, if you want to see more manga reviews, I've noticed that my manga reviews don't typically get a lot of views. I'm trying not to show a lot in these because I have heard that like manga companies in Japan are like ruthless with how they take down manga reviews on YouTube, and so I'm trying not to show a lot, but at the same time I also don't want to just, tell you guys to go read a book and not show you anything in it, and just have it be a blank, basically motionless image on my phone. I mean, not my phone, my camera. I digress though. What do you guys think? Thank you all for watching. Have a good day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and peace out.